The rich history of Canadian gold mining goes back for generations. People flooded in from all parts of the world to try and strike a fortune. And with hard work and determination, many people did. In this episode, we're going to head to the southwestern tip of Vancouver Island to explore an abandoned mining district dating back to the late 1800s, known then as the Sunlock mines. And it almost takes everything we have to circumnavigate this place. We found an old map that led us to an abandoned rail grade. Following this took us on a journey deep into Canadian history that most have forgotten. This adventure was not going to be easy. Originally, this rail grade was built on the side of a 1,000-foot tall cliff. With teamwork and determination, we were able to navigate the steep rocky bluffs. And on our trek, we were able to find many pieces of history still left to rot. Through hours of research and extensive exploration, we were fortunate enough to find the entrance to multiple mine shafts, one of which that's rumored to be 1,500 feet deep. Come join us on another epic adventure. Sit back, buckle up, and let's see what we can see. We live in a world of wonder, and it's up to you to find it. The path to life's mysteries is just one adventure away. Specializing in exploring Vancouver Island and beyond, we are Discover Duo. What are we doing today, Christina?
I don't know. What are we doing?
We're heading out to Jordan River, and I've been out here to the Sunroe mine quite a few times, but there's some older mines close by with an old rail grade, and we're going to try to find that, see if we can find any old trestles and old mines. So it should be a really exciting adventure. Let's get after it. What could this big pipe be about? I don't know, it's weird. It looks like some sort of saddle for a pipe, for sure. Interestingly enough, this is actually linked to one of our other adventures. It's the remains of an old penstock that fed the Jordan River power plant. If you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend you check it out. It actually could be linked. Oh, holy crap, you alright? Alright, 5 minutes in, Christina fell in the bushes.
Literally like 5 feet away from the first gate. I'm already down in the bushes.
Contrary to what one might think, what we do is far from easy. I think you're going to see in today's episode that today was no exception. The things we do for mines, eh?
Alright, so we're trying to find the rail grade that will take us to the mines. And we're basically just bushwhacking right now. How much fun on a scale of 1 to 10 are you having?
I don't know, maybe a 1.
So far, this has not been a successful afternoon.
I think I might have spotted the rail grade just below us there. I definitely see a bit of a flat spot as we come around, and it doesn't look natural.
I hope you're right, because we've been bushwhacking for an hour.
Sometimes that's what it takes to find the best spot. Well, it hasn't been easy at all. Probably been some of the worst bushwhacking we've ever done. Christina's just making her way down the final section to the old rail grade right now.
This looks like what they were going over.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's a perfect flat spot cut through the hill. And this definitely wouldn't have been, just like this naturally. They would have had to do all sorts of blasting and everything else. Like this big rock here could potentially have been blasted out of the way. This is definitely it. It would have been a smaller steam engine, more than likely. First trestle. This is actually beams.
Yeah.
So this is a rotten out trestle right here. These would have been all the old timbers that would have made a nice little trestle across here. So here's a couple pieces of steel. This kind of looks like it could be a rusty piece of drill steel potentially. Maybe it went with that big extension. And then there's a big old nail here. Imagine how much work it would have been to build this old railway. It's absolutely nasty country out here. But I think it was definitely worth their while because the Sunroe mine, they made millions of dollars off of it. So all that blood, sweat, and tears definitely paid off for them. You can see here there's a remains of another couple trestles coming across where this rock outcropping is. And pretty interesting, they would have had to chisel all that away to make room for the rail cars and everything to make its way through there. These nails are for mineral samples. They probably took some samples around this stuff here, because this is kind of some of the good stuff they'd be looking for in the area. So they're probably trying to see if there's any future occurrences to look into. Yeah, there's just crossing after crossing, and they are all rotted to the max. Unreal. Just up here, there is a nasty fall. So you definitely don't want to trust these beams too much. We're gonna hopefully stick to the right here. Oh my gosh. Big rocks and cliffs everywhere. Interesting to see what's on the other side of here. Feels pretty solid-ish.
Solid-ish.
All right. So here's one of the nails that would have been used to build this trestle. It's massive. It's got to be 16 inches long. That is unreal.
That's huge.
So we've got to be careful everywhere we're trying to go through here. There's rotten timbers. So you can see this timbering here probably would have been like part of the foundation of the old trestle that came across this ravine. After navigating what seemed like endless amounts of rotten trestles and steep cliffs, we finally started to approach our first point of interest. Fair enough. We have located what looks to be our first mine of the day.
Look at that.
And here's the mine. Well, luckily for us, we prepared for this.
Time to get bust out the helmets and the headlamps.
Yep. Okay, here we are. We're gonna go check out this mine. We have no idea how far in it is. It's definitely pretty tall.
Yeah, it is pretty tall.
There's lots of sulfides. See that yellow, that sulfides there? So it was definitely a rich copper mine. This mineral claim was primarily known for copper, but it also contained quite a bit of silver and a lot of gold. It'll be interesting to see how far this goes in. It definitely probably isn't huge, is my guess. Is that it?
Yep, we're done.
Pinched out already. Well, it's always cool to see a new mine entrance that you haven't found before. Be interesting to see what the next one will be. So we've been looking for a while, but we actually did find some remains of the old rail track. It's not huge, so probably would have been a smaller steam train. I'm thinking this train would have been a similar size to the one up where the Lenora and Tyee claims are. Probably a smaller steam train such as that. Narrow gauge is my assumption. But it's neat to find some old tracks still left here. A lot of it's been ripped up. Trusting the old wood. Probably not the best plan, but
it's crazy how overgrown it is.
Some thick bush in here.
Yeah.
Woo. So just over here, you can still see the rail track in place where it would have been, coming across the trestle to the other side, but it's just totally overgrown in here. And here it's actually still hammered down in place there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was quite the adventure up till this point, but we were just getting started. The next mine that we found was absolutely awesome. Lucky for me, I did bring my climbing gear and I started ascending up a 25-foot cliff face, and it was definitely a bit of a heart thumper. Christina was feeling a little bit exhausted as we'd hiked quite far, so she decided to sit this one out. Whew! I scaled up here. There's Christina way down there. It's probably a good 20, 25 feet, I'd say. It's absolutely beautiful up here. There's a huge waterfall down there. This is the mine over here. So let's see what we can do. So this is where we're gonna come through. You can tell no one's been in here for a long time. It's really soupy coming through here. Actually looks like it's gonna be a bit flooded. Here we go. I might get wet. Step on that track. This is oh, we're wet. Yeah, we're wet. There's the old tracks down there. Pretty cold, actually. Interesting, you can still see some of the boards in here. I'm gonna guess this mine was between 1910 and 1920. All right, we're getting out of the water now. So there's some really old miners' markings, and that would have been from old carbide lamps. And that's probably marking the distance into the mine. Starting to hear less and less outside noise as we get in here. Starting to lose the entrance. Bit of a cave in right here. It's obviously a little bit unstable, so we're gonna have to be careful coming through here. Definitely doesn't look like anyone's been in here in quite some time. Box of old fittings. Here we go, look at that, that is cool. So that's actually part of a dynamite box right there. And there's the date, 1919, so I really wasn't that far off. It's somewhere between 1910 and 1920 that they were mining this guy. It's a bit of an intersection here. All sorts of old cans, look at that. This, I think, is Pacific. These are probably condensed milk the miners are using. Look at that, Pacific. That's cool. I wonder if you can see anything else on these. Looks pretty rough. All sorts of artifacts. These look like an old shirt, it looks like. There's the old pocket. Wow, this is wild. Really cool. So some condensed milk. This would have been a carbide container, I'm assuming. Yeah, more than likely it was. Okay, let's continue on. See, we're following the old rail track here. It's fairly narrow, so we kind of let you know this mine isn't too big. But this mine's been going on for a ways. Oh, look at that. That is wild. There's an old Lucky beer bottle there. That is old, old, old. It's an old stubby. Very cool. And a bit of an intersection here. I don't think this goes anywhere, to be honest. Yeah, it's at the end of the line. They stopped there. They weren't finding what they were looking for. This would have been grease for the tracks. It's cool, you can still see the grease in there for keeping those tracks good. Some more rusty tin cans, all sorts of stuff in here. Let's keep it rolling here. Some pretty rough graffiti in here from 2009. The crew. I don't know about you, the crew. I'm not sure if I approve of all your yucky graffiti. That's it. We've made it to the end. Well, this is the end of the line, everybody. Really neat explorer. There we are, we made it out of the mine.
So we packed up the ropes and we decided to make it out to one more mine. And the next one was absolutely mind-blowing. We ended up discovering a 1,500 foot deep shaft inside of it. Making it to the next mine entrance wasn't going to be easy. Of course, we had to scale another cliff.
Wow, this is cool. There's all sorts of natural caves in here. Weird. This is interesting. It's definitely a cave in here. Not much to report. It's just a little cave. some sort of filter or something. I'm assuming that's for a water inlet. Maybe for drilling, right? They needed water to come in. They put that down in the stream, sucking water in so they didn't suck in rocks and stuff like that into their trash pump. All right, well, let me know if you guys think you can tell what this is. Honestly, it looks like part of an ore cart to me. It really does. It looks like maybe a tipping mechanism potentially. There's a massive bolt there, or nut. I do not know. Huh. If anybody knows what this is, maybe drop a comment and let us know, because that is huge. You can see it there with my hand. Absolutely monstrous. And then on the side here, it's got kind of like a hook and a latch. Interesting. So this would have been part of a mine cart, as far as I can tell. I think wood would have been bolted on these, and there'd be a lower wooden section there with wheels, and then over here that would have been for like a side gate for dumping the ore. This elbow here thing is just massive. This is some big piping. Oh, unbelievable. Huge ore bin. The sides of the ore bin. This bin would have been a lot taller. So I think these would have been maybe lower buttress walls, and then where these big beams are, it would have extended way up past me, and there's the height of the rail grade there. So assuming they had some way to load the cars, and then the rail track went all the way down there, all the way back to the haulage road. There was a 24 gauge railway, and they would haul it by rail car for quite a few K down that way and then get it out of here.
Well, lucky for us, the next mine entrance was just above that ore bin that we found.
Wow, this is tall. Holy, eh?
Wow, this is massive.
Yeah.
Way larger than the other one we saw.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow, it's really misty in here. That's crazy how full of water it still is at this time of year.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd dry my feet earlier, but that was a mistake because they're getting wet again. Ooh, this is cool. There's like timbering in here.
What year is this mine from?
This one is also originally really old, but they probably did some more modern work.
Yeah, because I'm starting to see some things that kind of make me think that's a possibility.
You can see that clamp there, that pipe clamp,
yeah.
definitely newer.
Yeah.
It looks like it's fairly stable mine though, because there's not a bunch of cave-ins or anything like that. Oh, whoa, look at this. Wow, what is that? Look at that.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
This goes way down there. Careful.
Oh, I know.
It's a full-on cliff. So that there, that actually would have been, they'd have some sort of elevator that brought stuff up and down. This might actually hook up to the main part of the Sunroe.
Yeah.
So check this out. And we're gonna test how deep this part of the mine is. We'll hear how long the rock falls. Wow.
It just stopped. Or we just can't hear it.
Wow, that is a long way down.
Oh my God, don't fall down there. That just creeps me right out.
Other than a few more recent artifacts, there wasn't much else to report on this mine. We made it about 50 more feet, and it was a dead end.
All right, here
that?
comes Christina through the swamp. Good job, babe.
Well, with that, it was time to pack up and head out. This was a hell of an adventure. It was time to make our 3-kilometer trip back to the vehicle.
Have you ever seen bush this friggin' thick? You can barely see more than 2 feet in front of your face.
Somehow it doesn't look as bad on camera as it is in person. Why is that? I'm getting Blair Witch vibes. It's creepy in here.
Well, luckily for us, we just found a trail in the thickest bush we've been in all day. And we're thinking this is going to lead us right to the road.
Let's hope. Because we've been bushwhacking for a bit.
Wow, that was lucky.
Yeah, that was lucky. And the day's not getting any earlier. What is it, 7 p.m. now?
After 2 solid days of exploration, we were pooped. This adventure was no small task. But what do you guys think? Do you want to see more content like this? Let us know in the comments section. Well, that was a hell of an adventure. Thanks so much everybody for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.